I just
4.
think of Halo.
Okay. Yeah, it was like there are like games like that were like top down. You'd move like your squad, kind of like almost like Command and Conquer style,
Gotcha.
but with like police.
Yeah, no, that is not ringing a bell at all. And so are you picking that as the game you are most looking forward to at the start of the year?
No.
So what is the first game you're looking forward to then?
It's gotta be is Resident Evil February?
Yeah, Requiem's the end of February. Yeah, it's the 27th.
Yeah, it's gotta be Resident Evil, I think, for the first 2 months at least. There's nothing that really like, I'm not excited for High on Life 2 or Mario Tennis Fever, not really. Well, I own it probably, but I'll tell you, I got Jameson Kirby Air Riders for Christmas.
Yeah,
thinking he was going to be in love with it. He has like no interest in playing it. Just
did he try it and
nice
no longer has
$70
interest?
waste. Yeah, he tried. The tutorial's like a mess. It's so much.
Gotcha. But it's only like 2 buttons. How can it be so much?
It's not. Yeah, I know. That's what. It was so much, like all these different things. Even he was confused in the tutorial, so he kind of just jumped right off of it.
Gotcha. What about Reanimal though, Josh?
Yeah, that's a game like where it's like the little sprite kind of thing.
Yeah, it's for the people who did Little Nightmares 1 and 2.
Yeah, it looks okay.
Okay. That seems like it falls into like the Limbo / Little Nightmares
I always
genre.
like those more than I like the idea of them more than I like playing them.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Man, I really want to think I'm excited to play Resident Evil Requiem, but I've not finished a Resident Evil in so long.
I was gonna say, you're not like, you're kind of not really a Resident Evil guy.
No, I want to be. I think I'd be a cooler person if I was.
I don't know about that. It might help. But I don't think it's a big coolness boost.
Any other things you're looking forward to earlier in the year?
I don't know. What about you? I can't think. I mean, I'm looking, but I feel like you must have an idea for you because you usually look farther ahead than I do.
Yeah, I mean, the first game I'm looking forward to, it comes out in January, but it was delayed from November. And that's Cairn.
Oh, right.
The mountain climbing / rock climbing game.
Yeah.
So I was excited about that in November, and then it got delayed to January 29th. So that's still, I mean, that's probably the first game I am most looking forward to.
Yeah.
And after that, though, I mean, Mugenics, I kind of want to be excited about, but I don't know if I'll actually, I mean, I'll only play it if it comes on, if it's Steam Deck compatible.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a, hardcore PC gamer, but I like Binding of Isaac a lot. So, seeing what Edmund's doing next, I'm always interested to check out at least. I don't know if I'll like it, but
yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it probably would be like, I thought maybe for one of our, or for a couple of our Thursday night game night evenings, I thought that maybe Reanimal might be an option because I think it's co-op.
I'd be game for trying it for sure.
Yeah. I think playing it, I think I would be much more likely to play it if I played it with someone else than I would be if I played it by myself.
Okay, I get you.
So
I'd be up for trying it for sure. What do you think? What are you thinking about High Guard? I've heard.
I was gonna ask you about that. That game's like fallen off the face.
Things.
Yeah, it's just like disappeared since they showed it. Like I haven't heard anything else about it since.
Yeah.
I mean, it's free to play, so I might try it, but I would be shocked if it captures me and pulls me away from Overwatch.
It's out in 15 days.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Supposedly. Well, hey.
Yeah. You know what has been taking up a lot of my time? Have you seen the Star Wars Genesis thing?
No.
All right, so it's a overhaul of Starfield in Shattered Skies expansion.
Shattered
Space, yeah. And it's free. So it's a free mod that rebuilds the whole game into Star Wars. Like,
wow,
the full planets are there. I'm watching Bruce Green stream it, and you can like they're gonna, I guess they're adding lightsabers later, but you can pick. He's playing as Jar Jar. You can pick all these different races. They're fully in. There's new voice dialogue. There's voice dialogue that changes the quest to Star Wars. So like the characters are talking about like Dantooine and all these things. Jabba's there in Tatooine, and you can
Huh.
fight all these planets. It's like I actually want. You can only do it on the Steam version
Okay, that
because
makes sense. Yeah.
the Xbox One doesn't support mods, but the mod is free.
Okay.
Which I thought was interesting about it was because Bruce was talking about it does use some generative AI for like
Oh,
getting the dialogue in. But
sure.
Bruce's point was saying like he's like I don't care in this situation because it's not for profit. They're doing it all for free, so he
Yeah.
doesn't view it as harshly. I thought that was an interesting take because I still don't know what that how that like and they have all Star Wars music in it. So apparently they got permission from like and it's from Star Wars video games like KOTOR and stuff.
Okay.
And apparently they got permission from the them to use that music in the game as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
So I thought it was pretty like if you watch like try to find if you find like Bruce Green's video, watch a couple of like a little bit, just like middle of his videos and stuff, just to see like how impressive it is.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to put a pin in it. We're going to come back to that.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Board with Video Games, everyone. I'm Kyle Hyman. That's Josh Barboni. We're thrilled you're joining us. You might say, if you're a regular listener, this seems weird and this seems different. Well, that's because it is. We're changing up the way we do things as we enter 2025, 2026. What year is it?
We're in
2026.
2026 now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as we enter 2026, we decided let's change things up a little bit. Let's think about the podcast, what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're doing it, and yeah, so things are gonna be a little different moving forward. When Josh and I started this way back forever ago, we wanted to have a conversation about games, and then things got more formal and more formal. So there's still gonna be some formality, there's still gonna be some structure, but we really are just gonna invite you into our conversations we're having about games, and yeah, there'll be a little bit of structure, but we're just gonna chit chat. Um, and a lot less formality probably overall. But as always, if you have any feedback, questions, or suggested topics, hit us up at boardwithvg at gmail. Or check out the awesome stuff over on Instagram, also board with VG. We're part of the Plays and Video Games podcast family, as well as the Dice Tower Network. So feel free to check those out for all your video game and tabletop needs. But with that, going back to your statement there, Josh,
Yeah.
do you view it differently? Like the fact that they use generative AI for some of the dialogue, but they're not, charging people for it. Does that feel different to you?
I mean, it does feel different. I don't know how. I still don't know how I feel about it because I think
Sure.
it's one of those like slippery slope kind of situations. But
Yeah.
this is like a mod that they spent years developing. So
Yeah.
if they're okay with that on their end, I'm sure they. Well, I don't know. I don't know how they make money on mods if they're not charging for it. So they probably make
Right.
any, if anything, not a lot money on it. But and they obviously risk constant threat of being sued with the Star Wars IP stuff. Um, yeah, I don't know. I know we talked about like the AI stuff previously and how
hmm
it's gonna just kind of start being everywhere
Yeah.
to the point where like I'm being forced to use it at work now, and it
Right.
just feels very weird.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be one of those things where we have to make the decision while it's when it's happened already.
hmm
Like we can't affect it necessarily, but we're gonna have to say like, "Hey, this game is a game I'm not gonna buy because of this," or "I guess I want to play it enough that I don't care." Like it's gonna be weird.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's going to get really hard to parse, right? In the sense of every game is using AI to a degree, right? Because basically every piece of software they're using is using AI in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
But then it's like, oh, well, it's generative AI. Well, where do we draw the line then as to generative AI for dialogue, for art, for music? Like what part of right? Is it
yeah,
like, oh, it was only placeholder art while we mock this stuff up, but then we forgot to remove it. So then do they get dinged because did they really forget? Or did
yeah.
they not
Right.
care but then got cut? Like how do you balance all of that? Yeah. It's gonna be an interesting situation, I think, in the next 3 years, probably, because there are some companies who And you look at, like, for example, maybe I'm wrong, but, like, if you're a studio who works under the Microsoft umbrella, I have to imagine you don't even really have the choice. Like, you have to use AI probably, right? Like,
Right.
I'm not sure they're really given the choice. Well, do we hold that against them? Right?
Right.
Like, if the publisher is like, "No, you need to do this to improve your workflows," or whatever it is, yeah, it feels really hard. It
Yeah.
feels kind of like it's easy to take a principled stand when things are clear, but there's a lot of nuance to this. I think it's gonna be very, very hard to parse in a meaningful way, and that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you don't try to, but I think it does mean that there's going to be a lot of moving of the goalposts of like, well, it's fine in this situation because of this, but it's not fine in this situation because of this. And we're just going to look to continue to support the studios we want to and look for reasons to demonize the studios we don't.
Right. Right. Yeah, and unfortunately, that would be easy to do for
Y-
anybody.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because
yeah.
the best thing they can do, right, is nothing. If they just don't say anything,
Right.
that's like probably the best scenario for them because then we'll really never know exactly.
Yeah, and then they have to be honest when they're asked. I'm
Or
sure.
just do
Yeah.
some, hand wavy, uh, you know, very PR answer of like, well, we're always investigating new and different ways for us to be able to bring our
Yes.
artistic, our creator centered visions to life or something like that, right? Where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I gave you an answer that doesn't actually answer the question, but
Just a
I said
buzzword
something.
sentence.
Yeah.
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 So though this is going to be a conversational podcast, we do have a little bit of structure moving forward. So Josh and I want to kind of create the podcast so it's a little bit like a game in and of itself. So each time we get together, we'll each pick two or three like actions per episode, and the actions that are available to us are kind of like doing a review about a game, talking about a news story, some commentary about something in the industry, something adjacent. So if there's just something gaming adjacent that we want to talk about, or then something special if we want to do an interview or we have an interview or something like that. Occasionally, episodes might have a final boss. This episode does. And those are going to be a deep dive. We're going to talk a little bit about the year ahead. But with that, let's take a couple actions. Josh, what's the first thing you want us to talk about this week?
I figured we could start off with something not necessarily a typical topic for us.
Yeah,
I will say, full disclosure, I do have the Patriots game on, so if I am distracted,
it's been a good, even as someone who doesn't watch a ton of NFL anymore, I try to watch the playoffs. It's been a good football weekend.
yeah, yeah.
It's been very
Yesterday
good.
was crazy. This afternoon was crazy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then the Patriots just turned the ball over on the 10-yard line, the wrong side of the field.
Oh, that's too
So,
bad.
yeah. So yeah, I thought we would talk about. We talked about last time we recorded. We did our top tens, top
Hmm.
10 games, and we talked
Yeah.
about our favorite board games we played last year. I thought, well, we talk about movies a lot. Usually, it's in our suggestions for a well-rounded life at the end of the show.
Hmm.
So maybe we could chat about maybe some of our top movies of the year from last year. I sprung it on Kyle a little bit. I use Letterbox, so I keep a list of new to me movies each year. So I've only done it since 2022, but um, it's interesting. 2022 I watched 42 movies, and then 23 I watched 29 movies. 24 I watched 24 movies, and 25 I watched 25 movies
Wow.
that were new to me.
Sure.
Interestingly, I don't think I missed one on here. Uh, so yeah, I thought we could talk about that. Some of these obviously are like my movies from the decade of horror
Hmm.
um, stuff. But we did on New Year's Eve. We watched Wicked for Good with the family,
Yeah.
and I didn't. I was curious. Did we? Did you see the first one, part one?
Yeah. I saw part one and part two. Yep.
Yeah, you saw part two. Okay.
Yep.
Um. Yeah. I still rated it. I think I gave it 3 stars out of 5. I thought it was mostly good. But I didn't know. Were you familiar with the musical before you saw it?
Yeah. I've seen the musical multiple
All right.
times in person. Yep.
I did not know. I really did not like the ending or the last like hour of the movie. And It's just because, well, one, I didn't expect the the turn away from the Wizard of Oz
Sure.
plot wise. I thought I just thought this movie was leading up to the opening of
Oh, gotcha.
Wizard of
Sure.
Oz,
Yeah.
and then I guess spoilers for Wicked for Good, but like the Tin Man becoming a crazy um riot leader and
Yeah.
Dorothy getting thrown in a hole was
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
For sure.
So yeah, I thought it was all right, but it wasn't my favorite movie of the year for sure. Also, this the same year, yeah, I watched both movies the same because I didn't see the first Wicked in theaters either, so we watched that at the beginning of this year.
What did you think of the first one?
I actually really liked it. I think there was like one song I didn't like at all, which is the guy, the what's his name? I don't know their names. The white
Fiero?
guy, the non Munchkin.
Fiero.
Yeah, yeah, that song in the library or wherever they were
Oh,
really
I
just
love Dancing Through Life. I think that's a great song.
I really did not like that.
Oh, really? I think that song is rather insightful,
Yeah,
actually. Yeah.
it just felt out of place. It didn't fit where the movie was at that point for me.
Sure.
I don't know.
No,
It just
I
seemed
could see
weird.
that. I can appreciate that for sure.
Just seemed weird. Yeah. You got anything? You got any movies come to mind? I'm not.
Well,
We
I
can
one
go.
thing I do want to throw out there is I really like, speaking of Wicked, I enjoyed the first Wicked quite a bit. As someone who's seen the musical, I know, like I said a couple of times, on stage, and I listened to the soundtrack forever and like know like every word, every song. The first movie I thought was actually pretty solid. Enjoyed seeing that brought to life, being the way that John Chu like kind of created the sense of space and like his take and approach to creating Oz, and this place that many people have seen in some way, shape, or form, but really kind of him putting his twist on it, which was not drastically different than maybe what you'd expect, but I think stylistically, it was very kind of, for me, fit the over the top feeling of it. What I was really worried about though is that, similar to the musical itself, from my perspective, has a much stronger first half than second half.
Yeah.
And that's just the part, like that's just the musical, right? That's kind of the source of what they were building off of here. So I was really curious of like, how do you take, what is ostensibly a 2.5 hour musical total, which the second half of it is pretty weak, and then turn it into ostensibly a 5 hour movie? I didn't really know how that was going to work, and I'll say I actively disliked the second movie. Like
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't enjoy it at all. I think that the like For Good, like the musical numbers that are supposed to hit a little bit, but they're
Yeah.
still so far from like where the emotional impacts of the movie are supposed to be that I don't even think they hit as well. And
Yeah.
I think many of the problems of the second movie like are because of the musical. Like I don't think it's just like the movie's problem, but I do think the decision to make it two movies is their fault. And as a result, like I was not a fan of the second
Okay.
movie quite a bit. And like I think it actually made me dislike the first movie more. Like that's how much
Really?
I didn't like it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't like the Wicked Witch of the West arc. Like hateful out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like
And
it didn't fit the tone of that character. It felt really odd.
well, and that I think is the problem of musicals in general too, right? Like things have to move really quickly,
Yeah.
right?
I'm
Because you
sure they
have
skip
these
a lot of
long,
story.
yeah, you have a lot of story you're fitting into a short time, and transparently you sacrifice storytelling for, these very often very quality, like well done musical numbers that convey story, but they more convey emotion than specific like progression of story. It's like the emotion of how someone's feeling about what's happening,
Yeah.
necessarily then moving what's happening along. Um, and as a result of that, like the stuff that you buy into the emotion more because there's this really compelling, masterfully done musical piece. So you can kind of forgive the shortcuts of storytelling, but
Right.
I don't think, even though they were still obviously well done songs, I don't think it translates as effectively on screen as it does on stage.
Yeah. Okay. That makes
So
sense.
yeah, but I mean, from my perspective, movies I saw this year that I enjoyed, I actually just watched Wake Up Dead Man. I
Oh,
really,
nice.
yeah, I really enjoy, um, the the Knives Out. I think I feel like they should call them something other than Knives Out movies, but
Yeah.
I enjoy that. I like Ryan Johnson as a movie person. I think he does a nice job, so I really enjoyed that. That's definitely up there as far as movies I enjoyed. Um, Obviously, I thought Sinners was brilliant. I thought that was a exceptionally well done movie. I didn't get to see Weapons yet. I still want to see that.
Oh
Black
yeah, yeah,
Bag, I thought was really well done, and I think underappreciated. Not really didn't get much light this year. Steven Soderbergh's new movie.
yeah,
I thought that was great. Um, a smaller movie, The Ballad of Wallace Island. Um, Really kind of small, like a small movie about a really rich guy who brings like basically pays for a personalized concert by like one of his favorite musical artists and kind of all
yeah,
the things that ensue with that. Um, so I thought that was a really kind of a nice little film that I saw this year. Oh
yeah.
man, trying to think what else I saw that was actually came out this year. But why don't you give me another one?
Oh, sorry, I'm jumping all around. I'm back though. I'm back.
I'm
I'm
glad you're
back.
back. I'm glad you're
I'm
back.
back. Yeah, yeah. I think like for small movies, I think I talked about this before about this movie Odessa with Sadie Sink. I really liked it. I know it's probably not for everyone, um, but uh, it was. It's gonna sound weird when I describe it, but I think it's kind of like. Did you watch Futurama? You don't watch Futurama.
I do not watch Futurama, or
Okay,
I've not seen it.
I
I
think
should
I
say.
remember that about you. um, so then I won't try to explain it that way, but there's like a an episode where it has a similar vibe where it kind of has like this futuristic hillbilly fairy tale feeling to it. I know that sounds weird, almost like an "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" meets like Blade Runner feel, and it's a lot of singing, and it's she's really great. I didn't know how good of a singer she was until I saw that. Uh, I'm sorry, I'm frozen for you, but I don't know what's happening with my camera. Yeah, yeah. Um, I guess I didn't love Sinners, and I am constantly in trouble for that, which is okay.
It's okay to not
um,
like something others do. And sorry, my dog is going crazy, so I'm muted most of the time.
oh yeah, no, no, that's okay. No worries. I'm having my own stuff, so. Yeah, but Weapons was obviously a huge win this year for me, one of my favorites of the year. But I did want to mention, because we don't have to stay on this topic for a while, is I wanted to talk about my least favorite movie of the year, um, and that's Jurassic World Rebirth. Because I
Oh,
had such high hopes for this movie, because I was like, "There's no way they're going to do it again to us. There's no way they're going to ruin Jurassic Park after Dominion. It can't be worse. It's not worse than Dominion, but it is my least favorite experience of the year. I was really bummed out by it, to be honest.
I'd say I thought I had heard that it was like be- quote unquote better than most of the other sequels have been, but that it still wasn't great.
Yeah, it's not. There's. I can't even. I don't want to get into it. It actually makes me mad. There's just some like forced plot in there that just doesn't sit right with me because it's so blatantly forced. It's not even trying to hide that it's like uh, their version, and it's not a good one. Like the characters they use are just not well acted or like placed in the movie. It just feels so out of left field. Never mind the D Rex.
All right, Josh. Well, what is slightly different than movies is board games. And one board game I want to take a brief moment to talk about is Clans of Caledonia. Josh, have you ever played Clans of Caledonia?
I have not.
All right. Well, Clans of Caledonia, it's a little bit of an older game, I guess. Probably, maybe not. I guess I don't depends on what you feel like is old. 2017 is when it first came out.
Yeah, it's almost 10 years.
Yeah. So I got it recently. Last year they did a Kickstarter for the game again, as well as a new expansion for it. And this was a game that's always been on the list. It's on Board Game Geek. It's number 75 overall, so it's in the top
It's
100 of all
pretty
time.
good.
This is a Euro, mid to heavy Euro. It's a 347 on the BGG scale from a weight perspective. Um, but it's kind of like this economic farming game where you play, the game is set in like 19th century Scotland, and you basically are kind of making the transition and helping Scotland become, this kind of like European power, at least as you start like exporting whiskey. So that's kind of like a
Okay.
big part of the game. In the game, before the game starts, you pick kind of your clan that you're going to represent. Each clan has different powers. You got some asymmetrical powers that vary really differently. I mean, they are drastically different abilities that you have. But then, the game takes place over 5 rounds. Like many Euros, you basically can take as many turns as you want to in the round until you run out of resources, or in this case, which is money, because everything you do, or for the most part, everything you do costs a certain amount of money. So there's a hex based map out in front of you. You can place different like workers that can get like lumber or ore, but they're really, it's just money for the most part. That's all they're really actually getting you. Or you can put out like, cows to get milk, or sheep to get wool, or you can get, put out, have wheat fields. And then if you have like milk or wheat, you can change those into like bread or whiskey or cheese, and all these different things. And then you're basically fulfilling contracts. Those contracts earn you money and points and other things. And it's just going kind of back and forth and round as you kind of navigate, running your clan ostensibly.
Yeah.
Money is very tight in this game. So like every decision you make really, really matters. And if you something costs you 12 one way, or a different way it costs you 14, you really got to think, is it like that two, values of money make a huge difference as far as like what you can potentially do in the future. So you really do have to kind of think about everything that you're doing. Um, and I really enjoyed it. It's a fun Euro. It definitely, like I said, it's not your should not be someone's first Euro by any means.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for kind of a crunchier game with a lot of different paths to victory, and a lot of, like I said, playing all of those different clans, they play really differently. So every game feels a little bit different. As is not uncommon in these situations, there's different scoring that happens at the end of each round, and those are variable things from game to game, because you're mixing up different options and putting out five and just kind of seeing what's there. So if you're trying to go for those points, like, you might need to play even more drastically differently. So it's a fun Euro. It's a good, thinky, crunchy game. So if you can, get your hands on it, I would encourage you to do so. I know, when we were chatting last time we recorded, we were talking about the price of games.
Yeah.
Fortunately, this is not a super affordable one if you're buying it new. It is, I think, new right now, might be about like $150.
Oof.
Um, so I definitely did not pay that much in the Kickstarter, but it is definitely expensive these days. So if you're able to find it, I know you can get it secondhand for quite a bit less. But if you're looking for, a little bit of a heavier Euro game, you're kind of wanting to go that way. Yeah, I would recommend it. Check out Clans of Caledonia.
Looks cool. Is that text board, is that preset or do you build it in the game?
What board is that?
The map itself?
Oh,
Like,
so the map, great question. So the map, it comes with one, two, three, four. It comes with 8 double-sided hex boards.
oh, okay. Okay.
And there's 2 boards that are double-sided. So 4 sides for A, 4 sides for B, 4 sides for
Yeah.
C, and 4 sides for D. So when you look at the board, top left is A, top right is B, bottom right is C, and bottom left is D. So you always have to have an A, B, C, and D, but you can flip
Gotcha.
around which ones are face up for each one of them. So
Cool.
there's quite a few different board setups that can happen.
Yeah. Looks nice.
Yeah, it's a fun one. So yeah, Clans of Caledonia. I'd recommend it, but again, not for your first, Euro game ever. That's for sure.
You think Stone Age is a better introduction?
100%.
Okay, because it looks similar to Stone Age and the setup and stuff.
Yeah, I think this definitely turns up like what you do in Stone Age, or um why am I blanking on it? The Dungeons and Dragons one.
Oh, Lords of Waterdeep.
Lords of Waterdeep. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like this one has contracts you fulfill similar to like Lord, like all that stuff is kind of
Okay.
similar. But yeah, this definitely turns up the difficulty and really reduces the margin for error.
Okay.
Where if you like, oh, I'm going to try to execute this contract or fulfill this contract, and you have like this path that you're going to do it in, and like one small sidestep either direction might suddenly kind of be disastrous for you. So every little decision really could impact your ability to win the game or lose the game. We played 3 games of it, and in all of our games we were within 4 or 5 points of each other, and
Oh,
we're
really?
talking scoring though like 110 to 130 points. So
Wow.
yeah,
That's good though. Well,
yeah,
or it can be good.
it can be good. Yeah, it feels well balanced. You never really feel like you're out of it. There's a couple times where like certain actions didn't feel super valuable anymore, but they didn't then to like either player. So other than that, everything almost always felt like a good option, at least, or that you
Yeah.
had like multiple good options of decisions to make. So yeah.
Nice. Cool.
All right, Josh, what do you want to take for your second action?
Well, I figured we missed it. We didn't talk about it. We didn't miss it. I don't think we did.
We didn't.
We didn't talk about the Video Game Awards. I know it's a month later,
It
but
is.
to the day, actually. It's a month later to the day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I figured we should chat about what we saw. I'm assuming you watched it. Yes. Did you watch the whole thing?
I
No.
did, unfortunately.
Did you? Yeah, I think this year was not their strongest year. I
Mm,
don't think, well, last year was not their strongest year for the show.
sure.
It did feel a little longer than it usually feels for me.
Yeah.
And the bits were a little too much, I think.
Sure.
I know he loves the Muppets. I get it. I do.
I mean, I love the Muppets.
And I love the Muppets too. But there's the time and a place for the Muppets. And I don't think they, sorry, it just seemed off a little bit. A little bit. I think I'm gonna have to get a drink. I'm like dry throat, but we'll see if I can get through it. I thought I would ask you about the Free Shepherd first, and what you thought about this game. Do you know what it is by the name?
Yeah, it's the dog one.
Yeah,
Yeah, Game of Year 2027.
you think so?
I mean, no, I don't think it'll actually be Game of the Year 2027. But hey, you put a
For
dog
you,
in
I
the
mean.
game, I'm immediately in. You
Yeah,
know,
for
so
you.
is it a game that I'm going to be following and probably playing? Yeah, 100%. I thought it looked pretty interesting. I know there is a game right on Steam where you do this, where you basically, I think it's like a co-op game where you're just like being like herding like animals
Yeah,
as dogs. But
really?
that's the only yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think
Oh,
there is one
okay.
on
I
Steam.
didn't know that. I should look into that.
Yeah, it's a little more cartoony, I think. Yeah, I can look it up after this. But anyway, um
Yeah,
that was my only like downfall thing of the Free Shepherd. Like I would totally be okay with a game where literally all you're doing is like herding animals.
yeah,
But you know, so it seems like they're like this mystery, like trying to figure out like alien-y type stuff going on. I felt like maybe I
yeah.
don't know that I need that, but maybe that's fine. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm 100% in on the Free Shepherd.
Nice, cool, cool. Yeah, I thought it looked really fun, like kind of like Stray, just something to like be able to experience. Um, yeah, I don't know. You do this much better than I do, but we should probably talk about some of the things we did that we liked from that. Maybe some things we didn't like, because I know I have some things I didn't like.
Okay.
Um, but I'll start with Star Wars: Fate of the Old Republic. Um, I didn't see this coming. It's not much, right? But I didn't see this coming as an announcement here. But I did think it was funny. I watched some like reaction videos afterwards, because
Yeah.
everyone, I had the same reaction as almost everyone I saw, where it's
Uh-huh.
like you immediately guess Star Wars and then you talk yourself out of it. You're like, oh no, it's not. It's not Star Wars. So you just spend the entirety of the trailer saying it's not Star Wars. They wouldn't do another Star Wars thing like this, right? And then it turns out to be Star Wars, and then I'm excited again.
Hmm.
Um, but you also, I believe, didn't play Knights of the Old Republic,
No.
correct?
I
Yeah.
tried to play it
Oh,
like
but you
a
tried to
year or
play it
two ago.
recently.
Yeah, I tried to play
Yeah,
it recently. Yeah, and let me tell you, if you don't have nostalgia and you try to go back to play those games,
yeah,
they're brutal.
it's
They're
rough.
rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I more specifically, obviously, the combat is really rough.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's trying to go back and play Mass Effect 1 without the remaster.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
like, how did people play this game back
Yes.
then? So it does stink when stuff like that comes out, and people who wanna get into the nostalgia can't, like, play a game that is playable, so you can't
Mhm.
really, like it's gonna be hard to get hyped for, I would imagine, to get hyped for a new game in the Knights series.
Yeah. Ju I don't wanna yuck your yum.
That's okay, you can.
Do you think this game's actually gonna come out?
Ugh, it has to.
Does it?
No, I mean, I hope it does. I hope it does. Okay, there's a time, I don't it might still be that time. There was a time where Casey Hudson's name on something really put a big question mark above it. Um, and that time is probably still now, right?
I was like, I
Like,
kind of feel like it is still now, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, I know. And they just shut it. It's funny because Anthem's server just shut down last week
I
for
think they
good.
shut down, I think tomorrow.
Oh, is it tomorrow? Oh, sorry,
it's
it's
the
tomorrow.
12th. Yeah, I
Okay.
think.
Um, so that's funny to think about
Yeah.
projects and where they are now.
I
Um, I want it to come out. I guess that's what I'll say. I hope it does.
I just man, and I know I try not to be like a downer on this because I hope it comes out and I hope it's amazing. But like
Yeah.
the fact that this studio formed in like July, June or July, right?
Yeah.
Like, and his last studio like closed before they ever delivered a game.
Did anything? Yeah.
Yeah, it just I really feel like was a hey, you should come work at our studio so we can make this game. Doesn't it look neat? That literally our in our existence, what we've done is made a trailer.
Just the trailer. Yeah.
So yeah, I immediately because when they showed it, I was like, oh, I mean, it was a cool trailer. Like it was effective. I was like, okay, that's neat. And then they said that being directed by Casey Hudson. I was like, wait a second, like didn't his studio close? I was so confused.
Yeah.
And then going and doing the like figuring out that like, oh yeah, like Argonaut Games was formed in like June or July, and they're like, oh my gosh, okay, well, hopefully, right, we'll see
Yeah,
how it
that's fair.
goes. I hope as it comes out and I hope it's awesome.
Yeah,
But yeah, I am unfortunately this is not what I'm going to hold my breath for, just because even if it does come out, I can't hold my breath that long.
it's a long time. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're probably not. Yeah. We're a few years out. Yeah. And then we did get to see what all those weird statues were set up out in the worlds or outside of wherever the heck they recorded that.
yeah.
Um,
Man, that trailer was gross.
okay, so I wanted to ask you about that because I know there was a lot of feedback about that it was gross, and
It was.
I don't disagree. Uh, but I remember the first Last of Us 2 cinematic trailer,
Oh yeah,
and I also thought like, holy crap, that really was very violent, like very bloody. And then I think last year was Diablo Vessel of Hatred.
yeah. So I think there's like different, and I'm not saying one is better than the other, right? I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
um the Last of Us trailer was very violent.
Yes.
The Diablo one,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember,
yeah.
was very like
Gory.
gory. I would say,
Yeah.
yeah, gory. I think is appropriate, and this I think was gross. Like, right?
Yeah.
I think those are three different things, and I think it was very effective. Like
Yes.
I was like, oh gosh, oh, like it was a quote unquote good trailer.
Yeah.
It did the thing, but man, that was nasty.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, we're talking about the trailer for Divinity. They released Larian's follow-up to Baldur's Gate 3 will be essentially, I'm imagining, just like a rebrand of Divinity.
Yeah,
Just because they're just called, at least for now, it's just being called Divinity.
yeah.
But I do like that they just put out Divinity Original Sin um,
Two remastered or like whatever.
remaster, and like it's on Switch 2,
Yeah,
the remastered one. So
yeah.
I mean, it's probably also on Switch, but I think it has like the Switch 2 boost as well.
Hmm.
Um, but I've had it on Steam forever, and I've always played just a little bit here and there. Makes me wanna, but I gotta finish Baldur's Gate 3 first before I start playing
Yeah,
the game that came out before it.
right.
Anything else strike your fancy from the show?
Yeah, I mean, just a couple things that struck my fancy briefly. Order of the Sinking Star, Jonathan Blow's new game.
Yeah,
I really like. I haven't played Braid, but I really like The Witness. So I think the scope of that game is potentially a little daunting. I don't know if I want to solve that many puzzles,
yeah,
but I like a good puzzle game. So I was a unique and interesting take that is unsurprising for Jonathan Blow as far as trying to do something a little bit quirky in the puzzle space. So that was there. I think a game we're probably both really excited about, Control Resonant.
yes,
Control, definitely one of my favorite games of all time. Resonant now immediately to the top of like my anticipated list for the year. Like really looking forward to what they have, what we have, or what they decide to do and the direction they decide to go. That's kind of like semi open world or like kind of open hub design in Manhattan, and now you're Dylan instead of Jesse, and like kind of how that's going to be. And now it's like melee focused combat. Like very
yeah,
interested to see what they do. I always like Remedy, or traditionally typically like Remedy stuff, and the weirder the better usually. So that's like something I'm looking forward to. um Trying to think of anything else I was looking forward to before I talk about what I was not looking forward to. Oh, and then I mean, Sorrows, I think is still looking amazing.
yeah,
So excited for that. Interested by the 1 month push. I don't know if that's because that's what they were actually hoping, was it for it to come out in April rather than March. But then with 007 supposed to being in March, and they're like, oh well, I guess how's this all going to work? And then GTA was originally scheduled for May, so now that that's moved, like kind of let I think everyone breathe a little bit more, maybe.
yeah, yeah,
Anything
yeah.
else you're excited about, sir?
Well, what do you? We talked about it for a minute, but the well, actually, we talked about. We don't have to talk about High Guard. Just for it's the this was the one more thing, and it was the announcement that the team behind Apex Legends did another shooter
Yeah.
called High Guard. It looks more. It's focused on like medieval times ish kind of looks, but it
Hmm.
still looks like another. We'll see. It has horses, so you can ride horses.
Yeah.
And it's coming out the 26th, supposedly free to play.
Yep.
And then I think, I mean, I did jump on the pre-order for Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred so I could start my Crusader. Um, because you get that when you pre-order. So I started my Crusader run for seasonal character this time,
Mm.
just to see if I like the character. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you want to talk about how weird Tomb Raider looks?
Dude, I feel like I am on an island with this for the most part, but maybe not. Like, I did not like the look of the new Tomb Raider games at all. Like, I thought the art direction in both of them looks real like AIE.
Yeah,
Because like everything to me looks clean. Like even the dirt looks clean. Like nothing about it seems, and this is probably not a great term to use, but like quote unquote real, right? Like it looks
yeah.
like this completely artificial place.
Well, do you know what it
And
looks like? It looks like Fortnite.
it kind of does, yeah. So maybe it is more of the Fortnitification of games than it is
Yeah,
necessarily it being like AIE, but like the really smooth, glossy, just yeah, I really did not like the look of these games, and I love the previous trilogy a lot. It was games I really enjoyed playing. I go back to them on occasion to play them again, but yeah, I just was, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they will play amazingly, and I will stop caring about the way they look. But the art direction currently, I am not a fan of for these games
yeah.
at all.
I do agree it is odd. I actually think I'm more interested in the remake of
Hmm.
the original than I am in the new one, but
Yeah.
I do agree that I think something something about it feels off, and I think like I really like the art design and the character redesign for the last Tomb Raiders,
Hmm.
the last three, which were where you got the girl from Grey's Anatomy. I can't think of her name as the actress, but I really liked how that looked, like gritty, almost like Uncharted,
Yeah.
like kind of feel. So it does look a little weird. I'll say
Yeah.
that weird is where I'll stand. But Catalyst, we didn't really see gameplay; we just saw cinematics.
Yep. 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 And like I said, maybe it'll be great. Who knows? But I watched it and I was like, I am not a fan of this. And then it seemed like everyone else was like stoked, and I maybe I'm out of touch. That's very possible. So
That's okay. It does. We're getting older. We can be out of touch now.
we are getting older. I guess we're supposed to be out of touch, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right, Josh. Anything else about the video game awards you would like to talk about?
No, sir.
All right. So, Josh, my last little topic I want to talk about before we get to our final boss is the 29th annual DICE Award nominees have been revealed. And this is a huge list. So, we're not going to go through everything because it is massive. But I'm just going to start, with the big one first, and then we'll see if there's anything else we want to talk about. That's Game of the Year. So the DICE Awards, if you're not familiar, are kind of like the industry awards. So these are really the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences is who these are, and you have to be a member of DICE in order to kind of vote in this. So their nominees for Game of the Year are Arc Raiders, Blueprints, Clair Obscure Expedition 33, Dispatch, and Ghost of Yote. Uh, Thoughts, Josh? Just for Dice, there are 5 games that they are nominated for Game of the Year. Thoughts? Anything outstanding? Like anything that stands out to you? I mean, I feel like Claire Obscure winning is pretty much kind of what we all expect at this point. But kind of, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts on those nominees?
Well, I think like when you're describing what the Dice Awards are, I think like I like to like think of it as like it's almost like the Screen Actors Guild Awards versus like
Mm-hmm.
the Oscars.
Yeah.
So you don't always see like Claire Obscure might like there's a chance it doesn't win. And I think it would be really cool if like they gave it to something like Blueprints or Dispatch,
Mm-hmm.
something that isn't just like your typical blockbuster. I know that Claire Obscure isn't a big blockbuster game, but it feels like a big blockbuster game.
Right.
Um, so, uh, I don't know. I don't want them to lose out on anything because they're winning everything, but I also
Mm-hmm.
think like it kind of sticks to be in that position that they're in now, even though
Yeah.
they're getting all this praise. It doesn't feel like it's met with praise.
Right. Yeah, and I do think that is challenging because we talked about it a little bit last episode too. Like that kind of feels like there's this turn against Claire Obscure at this point that people are starting to like turn against it. And
Yeah,
I'm not like I think it's incredible. It just this is gonna sound so dumb. It's just kind of boring that it wins everything, right? Like it's just so good that it like the fact that it's gonna win everything is just kind of boring. And which is a horrible like that is like the worst like criticism ever, right? That's like being
yeah,
like, oh, the game's too fun, right? Like I mean,
yeah.
like what do you even
Game's too
do with that?
fun. I don't want to talk about it.
So I anticipate that it's gonna win, and not that it shouldn't, but I just yeah, I think it's neat that like yeah, Blueprints Arc Raiders is actually the one that I'm most impressed, I guess, by being in
Yeah,
there. Multiplayer games don't typically get that love. Obviously, Overwatch won Game of the Year at the Game Awards back in like 2016, but we don't usually see kind of those style games getting res- the I don't want to say respect necessarily, but the recognition of them being quote unquote good. Right?
yeah,
They're fun, typically looked at as being a fun thing, but not always critically as a good thing, if that makes sense. So,
yeah.
any I don't know if you had a chance to look through these. Anything else that kind of jump out to you, or any other categories that are like, oh, that's interesting, or some unique choices there?
I you know I'm so I am curious about mobile game of the year. I don't like it's weird to me that like there's games like Where Winds Meet that's considered like a mobile
Yeah,
game because like are people really playing these games on their phones and I like I'm just not or what is happening with is it just tablet driven? How does a game like Where Winds Meet run on a mobile like
yeah. Well,
platform?
I think may in the United States, maybe not a lot of people are playing it on mobile,
Right. Right.
you know. So,
Yeah,
but
I don't
maybe
know,
they are. I
just
don't know.
fascinating to me. So yeah, like mobile game of the year it has so Persona 5, The Phantom X, Uma Musume, Pretty Derby. I know what that is.
Yeah.
That's where you race horses, but the horses are ladies.
Yep.
It's
That's right.
very weird. I've heard it's very good, but I have not.
Yeah.
I have not played it. Um, what the Clash? I don't know what that is. And Where Winds Meet. The funny part of Where Winds Meet is like when we were talking about it previously,
Hmm.
I had no idea it was a free to play game. I thought it was like
Yeah.
a full like. release game when we were looking at it.
Yeah, kind of
Um,
crazy how far free to play games have come, huh?
yeah. So now it makes a lot more sense when I'm seeing like some like people playing the game now. It's
Hmm.
really like it's like a world lobby mode, the game where you're just like
Yeah,
walking around in these open areas.
yeah,
Um, Kind of like how I felt when we played Monster Hunter a little bit.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're like, I don't understand what's going on here. I have 90 menus. I knew what two of them do,
Yeah, and then one,
and
and
that's about
I,
it.
and there's only one thing I can do in this town to get us to go fight monsters.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
So weird.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm just I'm interested in that, and also like the immersive reality game of the year. Like now that we got my son the Quest 3, I really want to try Deadpool VR because
Mm-hmm.
it seems like it could be a lot of fun, but it's just another thing like I'm like feel so behind on. I did download
Yeah.
there's like a demo for that Demio X Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
So I thought I would check that out too. Basically looks like Gloomhaven, but you're playing it in 3D.
Sure.
Well, not 3D in VR.
VR. Yeah, I knew what you meant. I gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you? Anything else on here? I mean, role playing game of the year. It's still like, does Claire Obscure beat? Well, Citizen Sleeper 2 gets nominated. Seems pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's a cool choice there. That's one of those games that I've always wanted to go back to, but the first Citizen Sleeper, but just never have.
Yeah.
So that is interesting. Uh, the outstanding achievement in original music and composition, I think, is a unique category. I think a lot of people have been screaming about the soundtrack of Mario Kart World, so the fact that that's in there, I think, is good.
Yeah.
But also, right, you have Ghost of Yote, who I think personally, I think I talked about before, who's I think soundtrack is just underappreciated. Like, yeah, it gets nominated for stuff, but I think no one like takes it seriously. And I think it's a very, very good soundtrack.
Yeah.
Claire Obscure being there is no surprise, but then you have Sword of the Sea, which was one of my favorite games of the year and has an incredible soundtrack.
Yeah.
But then Hurtling, which was a game I was interested in but never played. And I think that's what is so neat about, this type of an award show is that like Hurtling, I now want to go listen to the soundtrack, right? Because I don't know, even though that game overall was pretty well respected, it wasn't super popular. So you're never going to
Yeah.
see something like that kind of float to the top in a lot of these other award shows. So seeing that in there for original music, I thought was really cool.
Yeah. Agreed.
Outside of that, I think the only other one that I wanted to talk about, now I can't find it. Where did it go? Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Oh, here we go. Outstanding achievement for an independent game. Yeah, Baby Steps, Blueprints, Consumi, Despelote, and Dispatch. Josh, what's not nominated in an independent game?
That the biggest independent game that's ever been made.
No Claire Obscure in independent game at
Nice.
the Dice Awards. So, um, just I thought noticeable that for
Yeah.
them they didn't they didn't feel that fit in the independent game category. Um, from what I know, all of those great games. Baby Steps is funny because I want to play it. There is a demo that you can play, which I might pick up. Excuse me,
Classic.
but um, I know there are some people who have said that that game like literally like changed their life, and other game who that game, and other people who played that game for like 20 minutes and wanted to throw their controller across the room,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
it's like worst piece of crap game ever made. So you know, games like that are always interesting and more fun, I think, than games that are universally praised or universally like pooped on. When you have one of those games that some people are like best thing ever created, others are like total piece of crap.
Yeah.
That's always an interesting place to be. So, um, yeah, like I said, I want to check that out at some point here. So we're gonna have to download the demo and give that a whirl. But any other categories that you would like to talk about, sir?
No, I don't think so. I think we got some good ones in there.
Agreed, agreed. That did remind me though. Just so you know, I did pick up Echoes of the End.
Oh, okay.
So we have that on PlayStation. It was on sale for like 50% off. So I was like, hey, let's do that.
Nice.
So because it seems like the updates that they did at the end of the year were pretty extensive and made the people like the game way more. So
Cool.
all right, Josh, we're gonna move on to our final boss. kind of final topic for the evening. Now, the rhythm of the gaming podcast year tends to be the same, right? Like we just wrapped up our, favorites of the year show, which means, hey, we have to do a predictions show. It's kind of the way that these things work. But rather than making some random predictions, I'm going to pose some questions to have us both answer. And we're going to use, our keen insights and expert knowledge to figure all this out and come up with the right answers for all these. Does that sound good, sir?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right. So here we go. Number one. Phil Spencer and Xbox have said that 4 big games will be released this year on Xbox in celebration of Xbox's 25th anniversary: Forza Horizon 6, Halo Campaign Evolved, Gears of War E-Day, and Fable. Just very simply, Josh, yes or no, will all 4 games release this year as scheduled?
No.
Why
No.
do you say no?
Because I don't trust Xbox anymore. I don't think we haven't seen enough of Fable for it to come out this year. It's crazy.
But the developer direct right around the corner is going to include Fable.
I know it's going to include it. They have to include it because they got to talk about this game. But yeah, Forza will come out. I'm sure Forza's been done for a little bit. Because it's just uh, yeah. Uh, I don't see Fable at least. Gears of War is also a big question, I think, for me.
Okay.
But I definitely don't think we see Fable.
Gotcha. So do you think all but Fable will release, or do you think Gears will also miss this year?
I think Gears is like a 50-50 shot. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. I'm saying they're all coming out. All 4 of them, they're going to hit this year.
Okay, that's very optimistic of you.
And
On PlayStation also, do you think, or just Xbox?
I think, well, we already know that Forza is not going to be day and date. They've already said that.
Oh, have they? Okay.
Yep,
All
they've
right.
already said that. That it will come later. They said, because I'm pretty positive that happened when it was announced. They mentioned that.
Okay. All right.
Obviously, Halo Campaign Evolved, we know is going to be day and date.
Yeah.
Rumors are saying that Fable will be day and date. That
Okay.
it's been in development for PlayStation for literal years at this point, so that it's will be day and date. Gears is the one I think. I was gonna say no, but since they did the remastered version on PlayStation, I think Gears will as well. So I think the
Yeah.
only one that will not release the same day on PlayStation is Forza, personally.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
So yeah, and I'm saying yes. The problem is though, I don't know when the heck they're gonna have it come out, right?
Right.
Because we would assume if one was coming out early, January, February, we'd already know, right? Or even
Yeah.
March maybe at this point.
Or we're more likely to see a stealth drop of Forza than any of the other games on that
Sure.
list.
Do you think we get dates for Forza and or Fable at the developer direct,
I think we get the date for Forza. Yeah,
but
definitely.
not Fable?
I no, I don't think so.
Okay. Because I just don't know because Halo, they've already said it was going to be fall/winter, right? Like end of the year.
Yeah, you know what? They might try to pull the holiday 26
Yeah,
for Fable.
sure. And then have it pushed to like January, February
Just
27th.
yeah, so they go, oh
Yeah.
yeah, oh well, we were aiming for December, but now it's February.
Because I just think about, if you have, like, obviously GTA, which isn't them, but that's coming out in November. They probably have Call of Duty again in November. Well, where are you
Yeah.
then putting Halo? Where then you putting, like, that's,
Well,
uh,
everyone can't. No, all these people, nobody can be held hostage by GTA at this point because GTA is going to get delayed too. So
oh, well, we'll
why,
get to that. We'll get to that.
why? Yeah, but why? Like, don't let November dictate because of GTA.
All
Like,
right.
they gotta release something.
Gotcha. All right. So Josh says no, all 4 will not be released. Kyle says yes, all 4 will be released. All right. The Xbox Developer Direct is scheduled for later in January, and 3 games were announced to be part of the presentation: Forza Horizon 6, Fable, and Beast of Reincarnation from Pokemon developer Game Freak. Historically, there's been a secret game included in these developer directs that is not announced ahead of time.
Yeah.
Josh, what is the secret game?
Oh, um, I don't know what they're doing anymore. My first instinct was to be like, oh, it's going to be like a new game from Rare that they're developing, but
Mm-hmm.
I think they kind of basically absolved Rare at this point. I don't even know that
Mm-hmm.
that's a thing anymore. Um, so I it has to be if it's going to be big. Well, last time was South of Midnight, right?
I think the secret game last year was
or was something that was on it. And oh, what was the secret game that was announced?
Because 2 years ago it was Visions of Mana. I feel like.
Yeah, but they scribbled like two names into it. Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but um, it could be from something very small, like a small studio that we could never guess. But I really would like to see. Maybe it's a division. There's some rumors about the division getting an announcement, and with their partnership with Ubisoft Plus
Hmm. It was
getting
Ninja Gaiden 4. That was
was
the
Ninja
secret
Gaiden
game last
4.
year.
Okay. Oh and the
Yeah, and the
remaster of
Black 2. Yep.
Black 2, yeah.
Yep.
So that was kind of big, but I would like to see them do something with like a new IP,
Sure.
but I don't know that this is the place for that.
Yeah. So they have Forza. I was gonna pick a random Japanese studio, but they already have Beast of Reincarnation on this. So I feel like doing two Japanese games might be kind of surprise. Like I don't know that they would go that direction. Maybe they
Right.
would. Uh, so I was trying to think of what would be either a game we've never heard of that would be cool that maybe is like a bigger project from them that they
Yeah.
could talk about down the road, and or what would be like a really neat indie game, like, and maybe not, I wouldn't necessarily know what the game is, but maybe I could guess the studio. I was bummed because I put this together and I had an idea in mind, and now that a rumor came out that this potentially is being worked on, so I feel a little bit cheap
Oh.
saying this. But my original guess was going to be, just because I want it more than anything, is Wolfenstein 3.
Okay.
We're a couple years removed from indie at this point. I sounds like maybe there was some interest in doing more indie, but if not, like I would love for them to do Wolfenstein, and especially if this is like a 2 years down the road game.
Yeah.
Um, that would be a really fun secret. Now, historically though, these secret games have come out right that
Like
year. Like when they
soon,
did
yeah.
Visions of Mana, it came out. Ninja Gaiden 4 came out, right? So I don't know that that makes a ton of sense. I don't know who the other like secret studio would be.
Right.
Um, trying to think of like who would be an Xbox, indie studio, like maybe no, because like Moon's thing is already known. Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. I guess I'm gonna stick with Wolfenstein as my choice. So
Okay. Good choice.
what did you pick as your choice?
I'm gonna go the division, the next
Okay.
division follow up.
Yeah, because I did see that something for that got trademarked.
Yeah.
Division. All right. Though, oh man, we're gonna get to that in a second here. We already talked about this a little bit. Will Fable release on PS5, and if so, will it be the same? Will it be the same date as Xbox and PC?
I mean, I think that's what they're doing now.
I think we both say yes there. Yeah. All right. Perfect.
Do I like
All
it?
right, Josh.
No.
Here's the fun ones. Rumors are that Ubisoft will have a big 2026 and 2027,
Yeah.
releasing
Yeah.
somewhere between 9 and 11 games. So here are a few questions about those games. When does the announced Prince of Persia: Sand of Time remake release, Josh? Supposedly this is coming in 2026. When do you think that game comes out?
Oh, I was gonna say if we're all lucky it doesn't. Uh um when does it come out? That seems like a good Augusty game.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and say, actually, that would be a really good option for the Xbox Developer Direct.
Oh god, I hope not.
I'm going to say March. I think it's going to come out in March. All right, Josh. When does the rumored Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake release?
um
Supposedly that's also coming this year.
maybe that's the developer direct.
That could be.
I think that feels like more of a March, April. I'll say April.
Okay.
That feels like more of a March, April release.
I was going to say May for that one. Because I think I was going to say May or June, but yeah, well, I'll say May. Cool. All right. Which releases first? The next mainline Far Cry game or the next mainline Ghost Recon game, which is
That,
supposedly in development
that is a great question.
and supposedly quite far in development?
I bet it has to be mainline. Um, Yeah, I mean, I'll go Ghost Recon. We're far enough delayed from a Ghost Recon versus like a Far Cry.
I'll say Far Cry just to keep things fun. All right, Josh. Will Beyond Good and Evil 2 make an appearance at any showcase this year? Whether it's an Xbox showcase, a PlayStation showcase, Ubisoft doing their own independent thing, a Keighley show summer or in December for the Game Awards. Will we see Beyond Good and Evil 2 at some stage something this year?
No, because it's dead. It's not to be
Um,
found.
I'm also gonna say no. I think it's supposed. I think it could. I think it probably still exists, but I think they want to focus on all of their other stuff, and I think we'll see that next. We'll see it is next year, but I think it'll also, if it's going to ever come out, it's going to come out next year if it ever
Yeah,
comes out. All right, Josh. Over under $800 for the least expensive Steam machine.
under. It's gonna be like $6.99 or $7.99. I bet
Yeah, I should have done 50, but yeah.
you can do that. You can change it. I'll still
No, it's
say
okay.
under.
No, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go over though. I'm saying it's gonna be like 850.
For the cheapest
849.
one, then
Cheapest
they'd be
one.
in trouble, I think, if that happened.
Yeah, I don't think they care. So, all right, Josh. Will GTA 6 release in 2026?
No,
Why not?
it's not ready. The end. It's like it has to follow up the biggest video game, literally the biggest video game ever made. It has to follow that up. It's gonna take longer.
All right. I think it's gonna come out only because they gotta it's gotta come out right eventually. So why not this year? If it doesn't, I do think it'll still be in this fiscal year. So I think it'll be by like
Before
March.
March, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I do think it will still come out this year. Do I really truly believe that? I don't know, but I'm gonna say yes for now.
Yeah, okay.
Um, has the game that will win Game of the Year at the Game Awards been revealed yet?
No.
Ooh, so you think a game we don't know about yet is going to win it?
Yeah. Why not? It just happened this year.
No, but we knew. But Claire Obscure was revealed at the Xbox. Oh, I guess it would have been the summer. So no,
Yeah, it
we
was
would
the
have known
same
about
year.
it.
Yeah, but I mean, we didn't know about it at this point.
No, we did. Like 1 year
In,
ago, we knew
in
about Claire Obscure.
January?
Yeah, because it was revealed at the Xbox showcase in summer 2024.
Oh, really? That long ago? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it was part of the developer direct in January 2025.
It was?
Yep.
Did I not watch that?
I'm
Okay.
pretty positive. I'm pretty
All right,
positive.
all
Yeah.
right.
So we only knew about it for about a year before it came out. Like it
Well,
was announced
that's
in like June
yeah,
and came out the following May.
yeah. No, I think that it'll be a game that hasn't been announced yet.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna say no as well. There's gonna be some mid-sized indie something that's gonna come out and like take the world by storm. I don't know what
Yeah.
that's gonna be, obviously, but yeah, I don't know that we know. We'll see. Will PlayStation host an actual PlayStation showcase this year?
No, they don't have to. They don't have to do it anymore.
I
That's
also am going to
all.
say no.
Right. That's the whole point of their direct steal, their whatever they call it.
Well, keep in mind that they have like their state of plays,
Yeah,
but they
state of
have
play.
done virtual PlayStation showcases where no one's on stage, but these are supposed to be like their bigger,
They
like more of
have,
their
but
first
not in
party stuff.
a couple of
It's
years.
true. It's
Yeah.
true. All right, I
Yeah.
agree. I don't think they have to. If I think they feel that state of play is fulfilling all of the needs, and that there's no need to do a
Yeah.
showcase because it will set expectations in a way they don't think they can fulfill.
And they don't have competition anymore.
Right? Yeah, I would agree. I don't think they're going to. All right, Josh. A number of PlayStation studios are working on unannounced projects, which is why I asked about the showcase.
Yeah.
So, yes or no, will the following studios announce their next game in 2026?
Okay.
Will Ben's studio announce their game?
No. It'll probably get
I don't think so
closed
either.
this year.
What's that? They'll be
It'll
closed?
probably get closed this
That's
year.
probably a higher likelihood, to be honest. What about Santa Monica Studio?
Yes, I bet we see their next game.
I agree that I think we'll see Corey's game this year as well.
Okay.
Blue Point Games.
That doesn't exist. How do they have something that they're working on?
Blue Point exists.
Sure. No, we don't see anything Have we?
It's been a while. So Josh is gonna say no. I'm gonna say yes. I think we do finally see whatever Blue Point. They were working obviously on a God of War multiplayer game that got canned, but supposedly they were working on two things. So we'll see. Media Molecule.
Sure. We haven't seen them in a bit.
I'm gonna say no. I think it's more likely that they get closed.
You think so?
I think so, yeah.
Fair.
No, I don't know that they will, but I think that's more likely than us seeing their game.
Gotcha.
Guerrilla Games.
Are they working on anything?
I mean, the next Horizon, one would say. They're supposedly have
Oh,
the next single player
shoot.
Horizon and then also a multiplayer Horizon, which is different than the MMO that we've seen.
Really? They're getting me.
Supposedly,
We're
yeah.
getting so all this time we've been waiting for Horizon content, and now they're going to do this to us.
I mean,
They're
supposedly,
going to just ruin Horizon with oversaturation.
sure. Why not?
Oh, great. Well, I guess I'll say yes, but I might not be happy about it.
I think we will see them as well. All right, and then Fire Sprite Games. They last thing they made was the Horizon VR game.
Oh,
They've had at least one project canceled. It's rumored that the game that they're working on is like a kind of like an Until Dawn 2, so some sort of narrative horror game.
okay.
So yes or no, Josh, do you think we'll see Fire Sprite's game?
No, I don't think so.
I think we will.
Okay.
So it's about time. So we'll see. So some no's, some yeses, we'll see. It's kind of mind-boggling how much about PlayStation we actually don't know about what's
Yeah.
going on with them. So all right, Josh. Nintendo has the following games currently announced for 2026 that they're publishing, them or them plus kind of like their Pokemon stuff.
Yeah.
So here's what's officially announced for 2026 so far: Animal Crossing: New Horizons Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, Fire
Yes.
Emblem's Fortune's Weave, Mario Tennis Fever, Super Mario Bros. Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Meetup in Bellabelle Park, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, Pokemon Pocopia, and then the Splatoon Raiders, which technically is just listed as 2BA, not 2026 for technically. Of the games just listed, which one will be the game you play the most, and which one will be the game you like the most?
Oh boy. Um. Well, not there's not. I don't know that there's a lot of games on this list that is in my
I
wheelhouse.
know.
I think there. I'll have to. I'm gonna guess. I think there's a potential that I will play Fire Emblem the most.
Okay.
Um, I think the one I'm gonna like the most is. I'm not gonna say Pocopia, but it's tempting to say that. And my son will be playing it.
Yeah.
It's probably the Yoshi in the Mysterious Book because I think it looks really good.
All right. I'm not going to answer this one because I have no idea if I'll have a Switch 2 this year. So, but
Fair.
if I was going to get a Switch 2 of these, the game that I'm most likely to get first would be Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. But
Yeah.
all right, Josh. This one's going to take it's going to be a little bit challenging. So, rank the following games in order of their Open Critic score from lowest to highest.
Yeah.
I only picked games with dates. So if a game says like, "Oh, it's coming out in 2026," but doesn't have an actual date, I did not put them on the list. So like Marvel's
Okay.
Green is not on the list as a result of that. So here are the games: GTA 6, 007 First Light, Lego Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight, Saros, Pragmata, Crimson Desert, and Resident Evil Requiem.
Yeah.
So lowest to highest, Josh.
Oof. I think uh on this list, sheesh. I don't really know the following on Crimson Desert. I know it could be one of those games where it's just blows up because of the whatever weird following it has.
I think Crimson Desert has as much chance of being the highest scoring game on this list as it does the
As
lowest
the
scoring
lowest.
game on
Right,
this list.
right.
I think it's going to be one of those two things. It's going to be
Yeah.
like mind blowingly good, or like people are like, wow, it is so overstuffed. Like it's just turned out to be like
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think oh boy. Okay. I think Pragmata will be the lowest.
Ooh, okay.
And I gotta rank them all.
Yep.
I think 007 First Light would be the second lowest,
Okay.
followed by Resident Evil,
Mm.
It was a toss up between Resident Evil and Saros, but I'll say Saros after that. Yeah, I'll go on for the gamble, and then I'll say Lego Batman, GTA, Crimson Desert.
All right. Let's finish putting these notes
Because
in
I do
here.
feel like Crimson Desert's gonna be one of those games where we look at that list of like the highest rated games on
Yeah.
Metacritic and like, what the heck is this game?
Yeah. I'm just gonna make this really interesting. I'm gonna say Crimson Desert's gonna be the lowest.
Okay,
And then I'm gonna go Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Then I'm gonna say 007. Um oof.
3.
Then we'll do Pragmata at 4. Saros at 5. Double GTA at 6, and then Resident Evil Requiem at 7.
You think it's gonna
People
be the
love Leon.
highest?
It's gonna get the Leon bump. All right, Josh. Final question: what will be your game of the year?
uh,
Obviously,
I,
we might not know. It might not be announced yet. But of the games that are announced, what do you think? What do you think that your game of the year is going to be?
okay, so I think it'll probably be Control.
Mm.
Um, I, I, I think 007 has a real high potential to be
Hmm.
my favorite game, kind of like what we just talked about, Crimson Desert.
Yeah.
It could also be the like least liked game.
Yeah.
It's really hard to tell based on what we've seen so far what is actually character driven in like that
Hmm.
showcase versus what they had set up to like play out.
Hmm.
I saw a lot of potential like for flaws, but also a lot of potential for good. So I'll be
Yeah.
curious.
Oops. I was like Freudian slipping there. Um, I am going to pick Marvel's Wolverine.
Oh, okay.
I think it has. I like Insomniac's open world game. Like I like Insomniac. I love
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank. I love Spider Man. Like I think it has the highest chance of like checking all of the boxes for me. I don't know that I actually will be because I think that much like kind of like Ghost of Yote this year, like at the beginning of last year, like at the beginning of last year, I probably would have said like Ghost of Yote makes the most sense to be my game of the year, and it was like my third favorite, right?
Yeah.
I think Marvel's Wolverine is probably similar, where it's like I don't know that it'll actually finish number one, but I'll probably easily be in the top five, and it'll probably be something that when I played, I was like, that was a lot of fun. But who knows? Maybe it'll be do something a little bit different that sets it apart more than the Spider-Man games have. But I think you know, Control Resident I would love to think it's gonna be my favorite, but I like Control so much that I think it's gonna be really hard to
Yeah.
like this one as much as I like that one. And 007, like similarly, like there's a lot there that I'm really enjoying in what I'm seeing, but maybe it doesn't feel very good to play, because I've never really loved the Hitman games. So
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, we'll see. But I think Wolverine has the best ability to be there. All right. So I jotted down notes about what we have said. At the end of the year, or beginning of next year, we'll review and see how we did.
All right.
So with that, Josh, let's go ahead and have a post game celebration. A time for us to recommend something that's non gaming. What would you like to recommend to our listeners this week?
Oh, I really fumbled on this one. I couldn't really think of anything,
That's
and
okay.
I feel like I haven't really been consuming a lot recently. So I don't have anything necessarily um, to, I guess, pluggish. But
Okay.
I guess Expedition X is back. With new episodes. It's on HBO Max.
Mm,
And even though Jessica Jobat's not on anymore, it's still like pretty fun and pretty. It feels different enough from all like the hokey shows that are out
yeah.
there that it's still very enjoyable, even with like the supernatural stuff in it. And we watch it with my son. We watch it as a family. It's pretty fun. So yeah, if you're curious about like, it's usually a skeptic and a believer
Mm-hmm.
about either ghosts or spirits or whatever.
Yeah.
This first episode, Jack Osborne is on because
Okay.
their main host is out. Was out on family paternity leave. But it's Phil is the guy who's usually on. He's the science for guy, the nature guy. But it's still fun. So check it out
Gotcha.
if you're curious. Yeah. What about you,
Awesome.
Kyle? What do we got?
So I'm going to recommend actually something we talked about a little bit earlier when I was talking about my favorite movies of the year. That's Wake Up Dead Men and Knives Out Mystery, which is on Netflix. The Knives Out movies, I think the trilogy is great if you like mystery movies, books, whatever. And yeah, I think Wake Up Dead Men is another excellent entry in the series. There's a lot going on. By the end, I'm like, okay, I feel like we're trying to do just about everything we possibly can. But overall, for the most part, it works out. And the fact that it mostly works out, even with how many things are trying to be layered on top of each other, I think is pretty impressive, actually. So a big swing taken here. But overall, I think for the most part, it works. And if nothing else, it's a really good sit. It's a really enjoyable, movie to watch. Daniel Craig is great as always. And I there's one casting choice in the movie that I think is a little odd, but other than
Okay.
that, I think it all works pretty well. So if you like a good whodunit, Wake Up Dead Man and Knives Out Mystery on Netflix, I think is easily worth the recommendation.
Nice.
Um, if you're listening to the show right now, you might be like, what the heck? It's not the last weekend of the month. Why are you guys back? We're going to be podcasting more often. Probably a couple times a month is the goal right now.
Yeah.
We're not going to set a really consistent schedule currently just because I travel a lot in the month of February. So this was maybe not the best time to decide to do this. But we're going to be back a little more often and a little more regularly. So you'll hear it's probably on average of every other week or so moving forward. But with that, Josh, what do you say we wrap this show up?
Yeah, let's do it. Thanks for joining us, everyone. As a reminder, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/boardwithvg, on Instagram at also boardwithvg, and you can email us if you would like at boardwithvg@gmail.com. Whatever podcast service you're listening to us on, we encourage you to give us a stellar rating. That is, whether you're listening to us on the Dice Tower Network feed or our very own standalone Board with Video Games feed. Kyle tricked me. I'm so used to reading that same
I
script and it's changed. Uh,
changed it.
yes, and you can find me all the places at Why So Serious. That's SIRRIUS. Kyle, where can people find you?
So you can find me on Instagram, PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, Board Game Geek, all at Cyclocross, CYCOCROSS. As always, if you have suggestions for future topics, be sure to reach out to us on social media because we want to talk about what you want to hear about. And remember, everyone, whether it be board games or video games, never stop gaming.